Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to that's right, another Bobscast. Tonight, we're still in D2LA Season 1 of their long-form tournament, and we get to cast a few brand new teams. Tonight, we get to cast Team Yokono Sumire, and MMR is just a number. So, what makes this a little bit more interesting than usual is one of our team's first game of the tournament already has 2 subs. And speaking of subs, I got one right alongside me. Ilstaya. How you going tonight, Ilstaya?
Good. And how are you, Bops?
I am very, very good. I'm very, very, very sweaty, but I am very, very good. And thank you for asking, Ilstaya. Also, before we get into this, because this draft is moving so very quickly, I want to do what I always do, which is shout out all the guys and girls that came along and dropped some follows. We were at 400 last night. We're already at 403. We've had Kaiser turn up and drop a follow. X-Knight, Berg, Katze, come by and dropping a follow as well. Arnavak dropping a follow as well. Thank you, Arnavak. And we've also had Garrick come by with a big old resub. So thank you, Garrick. Garrick is one of the mods here. He is a QT. Give him some love in chat. But you're all incredible. All of you dropping those follows. We passed 400 in under 4 months. That's pretty incredible. Thank you all so very much for helping us get there. And let's hope we get some pretty hype games of Dota tonight. So, Ilstaya, these teams, these players, tell me what you know about each and every one of them. Specifically, are they in your DMs?
Connor attempts to get in my DMs and I have to block him. Every day there's a new account of Connor messaging me. So, you know, it's not... I wish I knew less about Connor. Let's just say that. I'm not super familiar in terms of... knowing them too well, but you know, people like Lon and Gachi have been around for a long time.
Gachi's a god, right? Gachi's been around forever. Lon, I love Lon. He's got a big old squishy spot in my heart. Killer Ari, we see a bunch, and then this other team, MMR, is just a number. You know, Cena. I mean, you just flamed him out. Bobwise is Mersolmir, which I know you know. Zarnite is Zarnite.
What's wrong with
and
me? Why
there's
can't I
also
feel?
Yushao Miao, who we've seen turning up in our chat, and is actually, I think, a Muerta spammer, quite talented. And ZZ, they've got a stand-in. Who is it? I said it earlier tonight. They've got... Oh, why can't I remember now? Oh, Rusty. ZZ is Rusty. So they've got Rusty standing in on their team as well. And Rusty, holy, man played like a freaking Giga Chad on that Weaver. I haven't seen anyone make Weaver work like that except PPX. So I've got faith in Rusty and we'll be watching him. But draft, moving super quick. So Alkban, Lunaban, Dazzle, Earthshaker, Visage, Shadowfiend, Crystal Maiden, and then we've got Tusk Clock. I'm not going to read the heroes out. You can see them. What do you think so far? You reckon this is another Zarnite Axe?
Yeah, I would expect as much. They have banned out the Invoker, which we saw that even though he still has a good lane versus Invoker, in the mid game it's just unplayable until you get a BKB. So makes sense to ban it out. Bounty Axe don't really reveal a whole lot. I mean, yes, we are assuming this is a Zarnite Axe. He is filling in for...
So there's been positions changed. So yeah, Zarnite was filling in for Tien. Tien is normally 1. They've moved Yushao Miao, their mid, to 1. They're going to run Zarnite mid, Connor 3, and then probably Rusty 5 or 4, and Mercil 5 or 4, from what I understand, which should make things very, very interesting. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we've got Bristleback picked straight into Timber. I like to see it. And also, what else I like to see is a bunch of new chats, first-time chats in my chat. I see Anna immediately getting in with a hello. Make sure you're in here, slinging shade, slinging love, whatever it is you want to sling, Anna. Welcome to the Bops chat. Trax, awesome performance last night, mate. Absolutely ripped it up, and I'll be watching more of your games whenever I can. Huge performance from you, so good to see you in the chat. QT, Berg's in there as well. Another person who just hit me with a follow, so good to see you in there. And of course, all the regs, Science, Garrick, Foot, Show You, love you all very much, your numero uno, QT. keys.
What's wrong with me? Why
And
can't
another
I feel?
follow. Bunch of follows tonight already, Ilstair. That's our 5th one. Just chilling Dota coming in. And also Smoker Deadlock. I didn't even mention you. Thank you, Smoker Deadlock. Thank you, Just Chilling Dota 2. Absolute omega chads and big old QTs for coming by and hot dropping follows on this wonderful little Thursday night. So, Ilstair, is that a position 3 Bristleback I'm looking at now that the Shadow Shaman's come out?
I guess so. I don't hate it.
No, me either.
It's fine. It's gonna have a tough game. The Axe and the Bristle are gonna have a tough game into a Timber. Shaman is a hero that we haven't seen a lot of for quite a while, actually.
Which team was spamming the hell out of the Shaman? Was it Devious?
I have no idea.
I think it was.
I feel like I haven't seen this hero in about a million years.
Yeah, I think Devious was run. I think Cozzy was the only one who was like comfortably picking this up. But no one else has picked the hero. No one else seems to value it. So, which is wild to me because it's a good hero, right?
It's fine. It's just, it kind of has the problem where it needs a lot of farm to actually really be impactful. And I feel like in a lot of games, the Shaman just ends up being food to a lot of heroes. And I mean, in a game like this, the SF, the Timber, they're just going to eat the Shaman for breakfast. He does have obviously like, you know, some really nice spells, but to really get the max usage out of them, you need levels and items quite desperately. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad hero. I think it's just that there's other heroes that aren't as hard to execute just in terms of, as I said, you need so many levels and gold.
Do you know what jumps to mind that we have seen just a heap in the tournaments lately? Lion. Right? Lion and Shaman, pretty similar hero. Obviously, Shaman brings a little less damage and a little more tower push. Lion brings a little less tower push and a little more damage. But really, very similar heroes. Both Hex, both stuns, essentially. So, I mean, if I have to pick between a Shaman and a Lion in this meta, I'm probably going the Lion, Ilstair.
Yeah, he just feels like he has, like, if they both just have a blink, I just feel like the Lion overall is better. I mean, a lot of games as a Shaman, you're not going to be able to get a full shackle channel off. Like, there's going to be some kind of silence or a stun, or you basically just going to die.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas, like, obviously Lion, you know, he just throws out his stun and then it's fine.
Yeah, he just stuns or he throws the Hex.
And meta drain is, you know, against some heroes, it really wrecks them. They're either, you know, heroes with really low mana pools or heroes that are very, like, mana dependent. You know, you can bully both of those.
Have a really important question because I forgot to ask you the moment we went into the drafting phase because I was too busy talking to all the cuties in chat. Also, hi Stacey, Rusty's playing tonight. I don't know if you know, Rusty is actually in MMR as just a number as a stand-in. But one thing I forgot to ask you, Ilstair, is did you give Garchi permission to use this photo of you, or were you having words with him after the game?
He must have taken it from my earlier ads, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Skarchi's showing his standard level of degeneracy with the banner and name. No surprise there.
Yeah.
And the Muerta pick, you said obviously that is it
You
Rusty?
You shall meow.
Oh, you shall meow. I personally like Muerta, but I don't think she's in a fantastic spot at the moment just because she does need quite a bit of farm. She does output a whole lot of damage, but she's got to have a bit of a tough time. CM Root alone is going to make her ulti kind of irrelevant until she gets BKB. Timber obviously can output a lot of damage even when she is in her ulti, and that's kind of like, you know, when you, especially if you have Shard as Murta, you kind of get low, you pop ulti, you do a bunch of damage and heal up, but Timber might be able to burst her when she's, you know, as soon as she transforms and she's still low. And SF does hit a really early timing, much earlier than Muerta. She kind of needs, I want to say, like 5 minutes more than he does.
I mean, I agree. What I was thinking though, sometimes you'll hear me, I'm sure you've got used to it at this point. Sometimes you'll hear me just go completely freaking silent while you're chatting away. It's because I'm listening to you and processing what you're saying and putting it against exactly what I'm thinking about. And what I was thinking is, yeah, those extra 5 minutes, just like you said, but we know that right now Shadow Fiend is the hardest high ground pusher in the game. Maybe Luna pushes a little bit harder. I'm talking about as a POS 1. Obviously, there's like Visages and Beastmasters and these sort of things. But I can't really think of a hero that D pushes as hard as Muerta, besides maybe Sniper. And then even then, I think in the early game high ground defense, Muerta is better than a Sniper. So I'm in my brain, the reason I'm so quiet is I'm trying to cook and see like who comes out on top when if that Shadow Fiend starts pushing the high ground. Like, can the Muerta with the silence make the space to push the Timber in and catch someone off guard and blow them up with the Bristleback and the Axe? Or is this just going to be a classic Shadow Fiend was picked first, you can lose in your Axe at 30 minutes?
I mean, I think they can. Muerta is a little bit risky just because even with a Dragon Lance, you're a decent range, but you're not sort of like a max range like a Sniper. But she can exploit if people overcommit. She can deadshot them in further. You know, you chuck down your I can't even think of what a double W actually is called. I actually played this hero. The Calling, that's right. She does have some good heroes sort of to stand in front, but it's just going to depend if she hits a good enough timing to match the Shadow Fiend, and that's going to be the question in this game.
Well, let's see if she can in this round robin best of 2 in D2LA. Let's see if we can introduce these teams, because tonight we have Team Yokono Sumire playing from Radiant. That is Lon on the Timbersaw, Killer Ari on the Crystal Maiden, 1 on Leshrac, Zenith on the Hoodwink, and Gachi on the Shadow Fiend. 4 Team Dire. We'll just check that they're not going to bump into each other. Ooh.
Who said you could stroll?
Tina, getting frozen. Getting some right clicks, getting slowed, getting blood grenaded, getting hit with a raise, and that's enough, and down goes that Bristleback. Connor feeding first blood to Team Yokono Sumire. And to introduce MMR on number, the team who just fed away a Bristleback, we've got Connor on the Bristleback, Mercilbeer on the Bounty Hunter, Zana on the Axe, Yushal Meow on the Muerta, and Rusty on the Shadow Shaman. Let's freaking go, Ilstaya. Did you expect much else from Cena?
Of course not. That was entirely what I was expecting. It happened even later than I thought it would happen. Normally sort of he spawns in Fountain and immediately dies, so...
Oh, hang on. Cheeky little stun coming out from Mercil, which keeps Zenith in position. Zenith taking a whole bunch of damage, and it looks like Mercil's going to drop the blood grenade and try and commit. He probably will kill that Hoodwink. Hoodwink has died, but it does not cost him the Shadow Fiend. His Shadow Fiend lives for now, and now looks like Mercil's playing aggressive onto Killer Ari. Killer Ari trying to block him, but he's just going to go invis. They're not going to drop the sentry, I don't think. To catch him.
No, probably not worth it. Yeah, kind of a nothing of a trade. The fact that the CM gets the first blood, nice for her. I will always attempt to steal first blood as a support. I mean, secure first blood as a support. Lesh should be a pretty good hero at dealing with this mid-axe. You can D-push waves super fast. You can also farm the jungle. And you kind of can bully the axe pretty safely. You don't actually have to right-click it, obviously. You just spam your spells out. And as we know, with Misanthropy, Diabolic Edict does a lot of damage.
Did that get any attention in the most recent patch, or did it get completely left alone? I know the patch was a while ago now, but I don't remember.
Don't think it did. I feel like it's fairly balanced outside of like a 1v1. You do sacrifice your push ability, so it's kind of like there is a trade-off. The question will also be if this bounty can do anything in this game, just because I feel like you see it a lot in pubs and just in general, where bounty kind of just achieves nothing. You walk around invis, you don't really provide useful information because the teams are just playing in areas where you already have vision thanks to creeps or wards. And it can kind of just be a bit of a sack hero.
Now this Leshrac, that's Anne, isn't it? I got the name as 1, but I think that's Anne. Have you seen Anne work this Leshrac from mid before? And because I last time I saw Anne play, I think they played maybe support or 1. I feel like I remember them being in the safe lane.
I don't know much about Anne. I just know their name.
Okay. Okay.
they've been around for a fair while, so I think normally is a core player if I recall correctly.
Okay, cool.
So we shall see.
Ooh, Gachi puts some aggression onto Connor. Connor getting very low, and it's only going to take one more before he eats the dust. Rusty going to be taking a dirt nap as well. Pops his wand. Might live? No, down he goes. One more click will finish him. So that's a double kill for a Shadow Fiend. Not the hero you want to feed a double kill, but Muerta does take one in top lane.
I was going to say, Muerta kills Lon, so that's pretty nice. And with the fact that Shard is... wait, no. You know what I said. I was going to say. For some reason I was thinking about Brenda, but...
Hold up.
They kill?
Kill onto the Hoodwink. And now, Yusha Meow trying to get Lon off of Mercil. Mercil, limp it on out of there, is hit with the dust. Cuts the tree! Holy! What a nerd! He's going to try and get away from the Timbersaw, but the Timbersaw Timber Chain is coming back up. In he goes, drops the big old whirling death, but the fruit should get Mercil on out of there. Meanwhile, Connor in the bottom lane, killing Kalahari and Gachi. Let's freaking go! Alright, some acceleration for MMR is not a number.
An important return, you know, double kill for Dire there, because you can't let this SF have a free lane. We've seen what it does. Zana is doing his classic mid shenanigans, and in fact the Lesh is super low and has to walk base. So
from
I imagine that was
from what I understand after talking to Zarnite, I think the Axe has a better time from Dire. I think just ganking the side lanes are easier from Dire as the Axe, I think he was telling me, and being able to cut the wave up into high ground as well helps him out a whole lot. So I think he prefers from Dire, and I think we're seeing it, right? This Leshrac should have melted him.
I mean, I still think the Lesh should be able to bully, like what we're seeing now. Zana is getting bullied quite a bit. So I think that should have been happening from, I guess, yeah, from level 4, level 5. I think it's going to be harder this lane to Zana now, but even if it is bad, he isn't Axe and can just retreat to the jungle and farm still pretty fast. So it's kind of like this, you know, even if you do bully the Axe, it's not going to be a total shutdown the way that some heroes get shut down.
Cannot believe Musclemere cut that tree. What a nerd, dude. What an absolute nerd. Lon had him, and he just chops the tree, strolls on through, so nice little play from him. And it looks like that the Hoodwink is actually having a lot of trouble bullying him off as well. Like, if this was any other support, you'd be on 0 HP, buying more tangos, swearing and carrying on, but Bounty just has, when he's under the tower, 12 armor, so Hoodwink's struggling to put the same damage he would on other supports.
Yeah, very high armor.
Ooh, Bushwhack catching Mercil. Mercil getting right click down. That's it. Now Yusha Meow having to get on out of there. Do they have anything else to follow up? No, but they do have an Axe who's going to walk in and slow that Hoodwink. Lon missing his chain, which means he's getting the dunk. Down he goes. The call comes out onto the Rat, and I think the Rat will be getting dunked as well. Beautiful rotation in there from Zarnite, and the tip coming out of respect.
Yeah, a nice rotation, and a bit unfortunate for Lon to miss the Timber Chain there. I think the Muerta lives anyway. She was, I think, like 200 HP, and it's only level 2 Timber Chain, so 95, and then if the Splint hits, it's an extra 40. But yeah, nice rotation from Zarnite.
Well, this is the thing, is Timber is going to... oh, hang on. And, actually rotating in, Connor might be in a little bit of trouble here. The slow comes out from the Crystal Maiden, and Rusty just exploding to that Misanthropy. Holy, the Bristleback and the Shadow Shaman just disappear off of my screen. What I was about to say is that the Bristleback and the Axe will probably have a whole lot of difficulties playing into Leshrac and Timbersaw with all of the damage they put out. However, this Muerta loves to eat things like Timbersaws for breakfast. What? What?
Mercil snipes Gachi. He was being greedy and it was on like 80 HP farming the camp.
Oh, so Gachi goes down and Zarnite just walks in and gives Lon the dunk as well.
Yeah. Two very kind of... The Gachi one is just pure greed. I mean, his choice was basically to walk base or you know, whatever, he was like super low, but...
Ooh, Rusty gets the Hex, Rusty gets the Shackle, and the Bristleback and Mercil are here to put the pain down. They're trying to chain stun. Gachi trying to pop the ult and will get it off. Holy, the Fear actually puts the Bristleback in the ground. Oh, sorry, not the Bristleback, the Bounty Hunter. Connor's still playing forward, but I don't think he can finish off Gachi, especially when there is a Bushwhack coming out from the Rat. Now, with Connor dead, Rusty has to be a little bit careful. He pops his nuke, but it is not enough, and he'll have to get on out of there. Gachi living. Both the Bounty and the Bristleback biting the dust.
Yeah, I think they were just a little bit overconfident there. And you do have to be aware of, you know, Shadowfiend being 6 and having ulti available. And Rusty goes down to the Lesh. Yeah, I feel like that's one of the I feel like they should nerf the fact that he has the Fear. Maybe it should be like a talent or a facet or something. Because having it...
Mercil actually stuns Lon mid-Timber Chain. The Blood Grenade comes out, and Zarnite comes for another dunk. Let's go, Zarnite. Holy, man already has 13 coats of blood. Holy Christ, this might be one of those games, Ilstaya, where that axe gets out of control. We'll see how it turns out. Still very early, but there are 20 kills in 8 minutes, so... we're getting an exciting game, and it's what this axe mid brings. Connor, feeding once again.
Classic.
Oh, also,
I mean, this is...
sorry, briefly, sub coming out from D2LA, the tournament that we are hosting. Hey, you don't have to sub. You're the one giving me the games, D2LA. But thank you, Boo. I appreciate you for coming through with the prime sub. Thank you. Oh, you shall meow, getting ganked. Right clicks, trying to put some pain onto Zenith, but I reckon Lon finishes him off here. Actually pops the fruit, and he's turning to try and put the right clicks down. Dodging the chakram, actually manages to finish off Lon. Ooh, not how Lon expected that to go.
Lon wanting to be aggressive with this level 6, but in fact ends up paying for it. And I didn't see, was that ulti, sorry, was that kill on Lon during Pierce the Veil or not?
She got him down to about 1/3 in Pierce the Veil, and then it ended, and he thought he could dive her.
So no stack, feels bad, man, but...
yeah.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is it's a very hard lane to lane into a SF CM. You just get rooted and then eat 3 raises, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. And I would say that with the Axis Code of Blood, it's not going to be super crazy good this game, because vast majority of damage on Radiant is magic and pure, so kind of ignores that.
Not to mention the Shadowfiend strips his armor pretty quickly too, right?
Yeah, I mean, for him, if he gets enough stacks, it can kind of ignore that, but it's going to be all the magic. But I mean, Axe is a hero that gets BKB, and he might even go for an Eternal Shroud this game, or like a Pipe or something for his team. It wouldn't be terrible.
Well, he cooks on this mid-axe. Like, he doesn't often go for the same build. We've seen him do Moonstone. Oh, Mercilmere caught in the mid lane here. And I reckon it won't be long before he goes down. Out comes the Rat ult. With Leshrac standing next to him, pressing his I stand next to you button. That Bounty Hunter does go down. Gotta hate this Pulse Nova ability. I think it's probably the most boring ability in the game, besides everything Dazzle does.
Yeah, it's pretty cringe. Mercil maybe doing the classic pub play of walking into enemy heroes and then going, oh, I'll just track them. But then, of course, people are paying attention, so they see they get tracked, they pop dust, they're gonna kill you. So don't throw out a track when there's 2 or 3 heroes there. It's just not worth it. You've already given vision and know where they are for the time being. And Zanite and Bounty are smoking bottom, but the SF is actually walking to his triangle, so...
I'd like to see... This is the problem when you have a real roamy support like an Earth Spirit or a Bounty Hunter, is you don't often get time to stack for your offlaner, and you're in a Bristleback game. Like, I'd like to see the Shadow Shaman getting in here and stacking a bit more for this Briss so we can just get in, finish his Zags. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's hard. I don't think Rusty probably wanted to leave his Bristle alone because it just means auto death. But at the same time, maybe you just do that and sack sort of the lane a little bit and recover with stacks. He does have... Oh no, there's 2 hard camp and 2 ancient, so he has been stacking. And he should get another stack here. Rusty?
Yeah, he does.
Camp? Oh, weird. Anyway, Rusty's got level 6 now, so can push a tower.
Zarnite getting hungry here, but there's two supports in the Leshrac waiting for him. There's a ward down, so they know exactly where he is, and I wonder if he gets the read. He's thinking about going in, does have his Blink Dagger now, but they know he has the Blink Dagger. They drop a sentry to ensure that he does not know where they are. Nice little counter sentry there, but
yeah, that's tough.
looks like
They
it
should
might...
know that the team said there's no way an SF farms that far forward.
Oh, on. Meanwhile, bottom lane, I see Rainbow TPs. Merciful standing next to him, trying to put the clicks down. They drop them. Crystal Maiden ult directly on top of all of these heroes, and they're getting a whole bunch of damage out onto him. Rusty dead. Looks like Connor's dead. Holy, that's 3 heroes down. They try to gank that Timbersaw. They get him, but it costs them 3.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a... Like, they're not in a bad place right now, so they don't need to be going for sort of plays like that. Trying to kill the Timber without the Muerta, it's probably going to be hard. In terms of, like, you can't burst him. You can kill him, but it's not going to be fast. So doing it under a tower where people can TP in,
Especially
not,
with, like...
not the greatest play.
Especially pre-pipe this game. Like, you were talking about all their magical damage. They just turned up and melted all of those heroes. Look at the magic even just the Crystal Maiden put out 2,000 damage there. So, they get 1,400 gold and 1,700 XP for that, Ilstaya.
Yeah, and this SF is just having a really free game right now. I think they should be ignoring Lon and just focusing on killing Gachi or the Leshrac.
Holy, okay, so I'd forgot about net worth because I'm an absolute scrub and just flicked it on. 8,300 gold on that Shadow Fiend to the Muerta's 7, or 69, so nice. But that is pretty substantial, really. That is a lot of
the
gold.
Muerta right now.
Ooh, Muerta getting ganked in the top lane. Timbersaw finds her,
Yeah.
puts her down.
A little bit too forward there, I think. I feel like that happens a lot, that someone goes to farm that camp and then someone comes through the Twin Gate or is just sitting up there and watching them.
Oh, there it is. Diabolic Edict absolutely melting that bounty hunter. It looks like Zarnite's actually going to jump in now that the Diabolic Edict has ended. Try to put the damage down so we can dunk that Leshrac, but can't quite get him low enough. They drop the snakes to try and get him a little bit lower, but now the axe has been slowed and is going to get the dunk onto the Leshrac. Nice, beautiful. Gonna back on out. The armor was enough to save him from that hoodwink. Maiden looking for a nuke on the sideline. Gachi's come to play, but now has to back on out of there. They kill that rat, putting an end to the annoying freaking squirrel. Yushao Miao hunting for Gachi. Does have the dead shot now, but elects not to use it. So what looked very bad for MMR is just a number actually turned in their favor there, taking 2,100 XP and 1,200 gold, Ilstaya.
Yeah, the fact that not only like Zarnite gets the dunk, but also lives, it makes that so good for them.
Why is the Leshrac walking back into range there, Ilstaya?
Yeah, a little bit questionable. So, I mean, sometimes you can just miscalculate and think you can get closer or throw out an extra spell and then you miscalculate and you die. It happens.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, super important that, you know, Zarnite lives and they get the 2 kills. And I can't remember if there was a bounty they're tracking. I don't think there was.
The bounty died to settle that up, I think.
Ah, right, yeah. So what I was going to say before is that Muerta is, I'd say, within a reasonable range in terms of net worth to the SF. The SF will just farm faster. Oh, actually,
it's crazy
right
to me
now.
how much work this Crystal Maiden is doing. The track comes out from Merciful, but they drop the ward immediately. Holy, Lon explodes. Now, Zarnite getting an amazing call onto both of them. Holy, that was right on the edge. I've never seen it so clutch before in my life. Goes to the dunk onto the Maiden, but she has the one, so she lives. And now, Gachi turning up and putting the pain down. Cena coming to play as well, but out comes the Shadow Fiend ult, and that's going to waste all of Muerta's ult. Muerta in a whole bunch of trouble. They actually drop the shackles onto the Shadow Fiend. Is it going to be enough? Yes, she goes down, but Muerta is killed in his final explosion. So Muerta taking a very important kill. Gachi eating dirt himself. Ooh, little cleanup there from Anne.
Honestly, I'm not even sure if the attack moving there made any actual difference. In fact, might have killed Gachi slightly faster. But yeah, important that they killed the SF. They do lose the axe and the Muerta for it though, so not a free kill by any means. And we also saw that, you know, Muerta popped their ulti and then Gachi just ults and wastes how long of the fear is it? It's 2.15 seconds and a lot of damage. So again, it's the problem of playing Muerta in games where even if you pop ulti, you're not actually safe. You know, there are some games where your Muerta basically popping ulti means you're immune to everything because all of their damage is physical.
Oh, Cena. Bumping into a bunch of heroes, and with that break, he is absolutely going to be going down. It's his Bloodstone, I think, and an Eternal Shroud.
Honestly, even without the break, I think he just dies really easily. Yeah, needs Bloodstone. I definitely think this is a game where you pick up the Casual Cloak. I've talked about it before. It is very worthwhile. 800 gold for 20% magic res when most of the radiance damage is magic. I mean, obviously Timber Pure, but you know, Lesh CM half of SF. It's a value pickup.
Okay. Well, there you go, Bergkatze. Looks like our win probability is at a solid 57% in favor of MMR as just a number, which is crazy to me because that's not where I would put the win probability myself as this game is currently going, but Bounty can do a whole lot to bring a team back, and it looks like Gaben knows it. So double damage here, and it looks like Zarnite's going to be picking up. Now, do you think they can get anything done? Are they going to smoke for this, do you reckon?
Well, yes. I'll make a bold prediction that they do smoke.
Okay.
This will be a good kill.
Ooh, call onto Leshrac. Leshrac stuck and pressing only. He is dead already, but the rest of these heroes are going to have to be careful. Gachi going on in. Rusty with the clutchest save I've seen in such a long time. The shackles to keep this big old Shadowfiend in position. Now Yushao Miao has come to play as well. Connor playing forward onto Gachi. Gachi goes to get his ult off, but can't press his button because he gets silenced by the Muerta. Lon jumping in and absolutely exploding. Yushao Miao trying to put the pain onto Gachi. Gachi pops his ult defensively, not actually connecting and able to get any kills from it. Zarnite playing on the sideline. He's got blink in 3 seconds and he's hunting. Will he find someone? Let's see if he goes for it. Ooh, he wants that. Shadowfiend can't quite connect. And now the Bushwhack's going to pin him to the tower. Rusty jumping on in from the sidelines keeps that rat busy. Killier already dead. Now they're playing forward onto Zenith. Zenith slowly getting kicked down. Zarnite going for the dunk. Boom. Oh, what?
I think he got fogged just chewing up the hill.
No, I wanted to see the dunk, Killstaya. I wanted to see the dunk. No.
I think he's so sad that he couldn't get SF because, of course, had the track vision, so could have popped a Battle Hunger on the SF and it definitely would have killed him. So Gachi lives. It's still a fantastic fight for Dire though, but it came close for both teams. Like it could have gone either way. Cena's Ags does provide Dire with a lot of the burst damage that they were lacking. Like we saw it just shred through Gachi, even though he did live. But without the Bristle Ags, they're kind of lacking for damage on Dire at the moment. Aside from the Muerta, like Shadow Shaman is locked down, not damage. Bounty, vision, and you know, if he's really rich.
We've just hit 20 minutes, Ilstaya, which means we are over 2 kills per minute this game. What on earth? These teams are running at each other. They are absolutely sprinting at each other with bayonets out. It is phenomenal. I'm having such a good time this game.
Yeah, I feel like the meta at the moment sort of rewards lots of fighting and action, and I think that's why we see in a lot of drafts like heroes that aren't relying on cooldowns. I mean, sort of main cooldown you're looking for this game is Pierce the Veil, but that even then at max level it's only 45-second cooldown. Ready in a smoke right now though.
Oh, Muerta in a whole bunch of trouble. She's been bushwhacked and she pops her ult to try and put some pain down. But there is a Leshrac here and Leshrac can murk a Muerta while her ult is pressed. Now Lon going on the backlines. Rusty being caught. Gets the Hex off onto Lon, but Lon will be bringing that chakram with him. He's thinking about going on to Rusty. Rusty gets the shackle up, but it doesn't matter because they cancel it. Holy, both Rusty and Mercil already dead. Cena probably just going to stroll on out of there. Still doesn't have any magic resistance on that Bristle, so he can't stand and man fight that Leshrac.
Yeah, Connor definitely needs to pick up a cloak. I mean, Timbersaw has one. It's such a value item for heroes like that sort of are going to be in the middle of the fight and soaking up damage. It's a good item. It should be bought more, like even just casual. SF BKB now, so he's going to be very, very scary. And we saw there again, like, you know, Muerta pops ulti, and in some games, it's basically invulnerability. This game, definitely not the case. I would expect Radiant to take this tower and then probably back off and do Roche. Yeah, it's still on their side of the map. So it's a pretty safe Roche. Dire do have a tier 1 up that they could TP to, but...
Dire smoking. They're looking to connect here, but they all are a little bit split. Axe on the high ground, it looks like Radiant reads what is up. Axe thinking about trying to find this Shadow Fiend, but remember he does have his blink. They find the Leshrac on the sidelines, but it's too late. The Axe has already gone in. They've gone on different targets. Leshrac getting murked. Holy, they burst him, but it's going to cost him Rusty. Rusty already dead. Hang on, turned into a chicken. Now dead. Zarnai back on now because he's taken all of the right clicks from Gachi. Gachi on half HP and has already popped his BKB. Ooh, be very careful there, Mercil. You're taking a whole bunch of damage from that Maiden. Oh, they dropped the slow onto the Maiden, and a big old raise puts down that annoying bloody bounty hunter. Connor thinking he can survive, but he's against a whole bunch of heroes that like to eat Bristleback for breakfast, so going in a little bit too deep. Yusha Meow being run down by Gachi. Gachi gonna finish it off. And it looks like Zarnite is going to be able to get out of there. So, different targets. Team not quite connecting on the same target at the same time. They get the Leshrac, but it costs some 4 heroes.
SF's just gonna hit high ground now. He's got us level 15. He has the 4 stacks of lasting presence right now. This tower is gonna melt. Yeah, Dire just kind of had a split fight, and I think with the way their damage is right now, they need to just... Oh, Zarnite trying to delay.
Hex onto the Shadow Fiend, Snakes onto the Shadow Fiend, Track onto the Shadow Fiend, Chakram onto the Shadow Shaman, and rest in peace, you little snaky boy. He's already dead. Hang on, Zarnite going in, actually manages to burst Gachi. Holy, what a kill! Lon getting on out of there, getting real low, tracked, and it looks like Cena coming to play. Lon trying to run away, Killier able to port on out, but Mercil putting the pain onto Lon, keeping him in position for Connor to walk in and take the kill. Down he goes, Yusha Meow picking Zenith on the sidelines. That was a big old sacrifice from Zarnite, but it works out. 3,500 gold, 7,000 XP swinging towards MMR is just a number. That was the play of the game easily. Holy Zarnite. Wowee.
Yeah, that was super clutch, and like good follow-up from Rusty, even though it's not flashy, but just committing himself in knowing that he's absolutely gonna die. Again, kind of the problem with this hero. Like I touched on, you know, you go and you're dying. But he did get his spells off. And yeah, Zarnite with that that play protected his high ground and got a whole bunch of gold for his team. I think unfortunately Muerta actually could have killed the TPing out. I think it was the CM if he popped if Muerta had popped ulti. It's a very short transformation duration.
Okay.
Or like transformation time.
We got a good old-fashioned Roche off about to happen here, Stalia. It looks like Lon is going to be doing some forward scouting, going to bump into Rusty, and that Bounty Hunter. The slow is going to be enough, and that's going to be a dead Timbersaw. Lon, thinking he was thicker than he is, underestimating the immense damage that comes out from a Muerta.
Yeah. Not to mention Bristle obviously does a whole bunch of physical damage in a burst with his Ags. And, you know, you're not clicking the timber, so...
Rusty hexing himself to get on out of it. I love that play from Rusty. That was absolutely big brain stuff right there. Hexes himself to get out of the rod. And now they're actually in the pit. The rest of Radiant is here, and they know they're here, but they've got the track onto Shadow Fiend, and he doesn't have any mobility other than his 4-staff, so he's gonna have to walk on in. They're trying to put some pain onto Bounty, but here it is, a beautiful call coming out from Zarnite. He gets both of them. They're silenced. They're taking a whole bunch of damage. The Leshrac is dead, and so is the Maiden, and Gachi trying to disappear into the trees. He's got his BKB, but it doesn't matter. They see him with the Muerta ult. He drops his in return. Am I gonna kill onto this Bounty Hunter? But it's not enough. Beautiful counter engage coming out from MMR is just a number. Holy, this game swings. Another 3,500 gold, 6.3 XP. Holy, Ilstaria, they're doing it.
Yeah, that was a fantastic team fight for Dire there, which, to be honest, I feel like it was also a mistake from Radiant. And nice escape from Zenith. Almost does die, but nice little sharpshooter to push himself into the playground. Yeah, I can't remember now who it was bunched up, but they got caught in that call. You're against an axe. You don't need to be standing on top of each other. If all of, like, those two, maybe even, was it 3 heroes that got caught
no, so
in the call?
what he did is he got the... It was beautiful, you're right. He got the Hoodwink and the Shadow Fiend, probably the 2 most important there. Or Maiden, maybe. Actually, Hoodwink and Maiden, I think it was. And the Leshrac went forward not realizing that his team had been called and got detonated by the rest of his team.
Yeah, but Yeah, the point stands. You don't need to be standing on top of each other against an axe. You should be standing spread out. There's no reason for you to be on top of each other. And yeah, just a great fight for Dyer. Mercil also was just standing in front, providing the vision, doing his job as a bounty, and he also actually has a pipe, so very, very helpful for his team, cutting a bit of damage from Radiant. They are going to burn through the pipe quite quickly, but
it's more about the aura, you know? Like, look, people always think about pipe's barrier, but just a flat 18%, isn't it? No, it has been...
No, it's 8. It used to be
now.
10.
Used to be 10, okay. Well, even flat 8% is lovely. Can make the difference, really, in a game. A lot of people think those low numbers...
The later the game goes, the more impactful it is with
100%.
When heroes get higher health pools. But yeah, just a really good fight for Dyer. And now they're in a 9k lead, sitting in quite a good position. SF is still quite farmed, but his Lesh and Timber aren't having as good a game. And we saw in that fight as well, not even that fight, when Lon died to begin with, before the fight actually happened. So they were playing 4v5, but...
Ooh, D2LA done on the Shadow Fiend, and looks like Bristleback's going to run at him. The rod comes out from Zenith to keep him in position, but... I mean, I think they could have killed that Bristleback. They think his team's behind him. They shouldn't think his team's behind him, because they're all down here punching the tier 2.
Connor went Sanj and Yasha. I don't hate it, but I think when there's only a single person right-clicking, I think the Halberd would be so strong this game. You basically force the SF to have to BKB to pop it off, or, you know, spend... How long was the disarm? Like 4 seconds? Let me check. Is it 5 seconds unranged? So I think the Halberd would be super valuable. I mean, obviously you can disassemble and grab it.
Okay, there it is. Call straight onto that Leshrac. Leshrac immediately taunted and the pain comes out. There's the dunk. Down goes the Leshrac. They were just waiting for him there, Ilsdaya.
Yeah, a great pick. And kind of weird that the rest of his team was top and he was there. Like, they need to either be 5 top or be out of top, because they saw his team top, so it was a pretty safe pick for them to go for.
He was worth 2100 XP, by the way, that Leshrac. Man, I gotta look at this graph and see the XP swings. God damn, look at that. That is a steep decline. That is not necessarily a throw, but that is a early capitalization that they have just pushed into their advantage. MMR is just a number. Their re-entry into this game after how negative it was looking earlier is pretty impressive, Ilsdaya.
Yeah, I would like to see the Moat to pick up her shard. Actually, has she got it coming out now?
I'm hearing shots onto Connor. Looks like that Bristleback in a whole bunch of trouble. Pops his Bloodstone to get away. Gachi putting the right clicks down, but can't quite finish that Porcupine. So he's on out of there. Bounty strolling away as well. Zarnite looking for his entry. Muerta is in position, drops the silence, but can't quite connect. And it looks like Zarnite trying to get rid of Gachi on the sideline. Gachi popping his BKB, but Blade Mail comes out from that big scary Axe. Axe running at Gachi. Gachi trying to get on out of there. He's going to pop his ult and will put the fear onto the Axe. The Axe trying to get out of there. Meanwhile, the rest of the team being chased off by Leshrac. It's just the Axe caught alone. Muerta thinking about abandoning him. Gachi getting very low though. So this fight, super split. They found Leshrac. Yushao Miao trying to sleep him. The Lotus comes out from the Maiden, I believe. But a call onto Zenith. Kaboom! The dunk comes out from the Axe and he's already dead. They managed to burst out Leshrac as well. Gachi not respecting the Blade Mail and absolutely freaking explodes. And now Muerta playing forward to fight this Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden going down. That's 4 heroes dead on Team Yokono Sumire. Ilsdaya. MMR is just a number working this game in their favor again and again, and they found Lon. Lon probably just gonna eat dirt here himself. That's it. He's dead. 5-man wipe.
Yeah. That's a fantastic fight for Radiant. Sorry, for Dyer. Yeah, so Mota did end up grabbing her shard. She had it queued up after Daedalus, but I was gonna say, I think it's great to just get it early. It lets you heal up so much in your ulti, and obviously now the 14% extra spell amp, it's quite significant. And I would like to see the bounty prioritize getting a shard. Maybe they can get it from the form. Because chucking that on someone for the minus, or like 30% shadow, 30% damage reduction, it's very impactful.
The shard you were talking about on Muerta, can be just so impactful in a game. Like I've seen Huertas that have far too many kills. A player by the name of Ithicon comes to mind. Who he just spams Muerta relentlessly, and I've seen him have as many as 20 stacks, and it just feels like BKB doesn't do anything anymore. Like, sure, you can't get silence, but it doesn't matter if you're just clicking for a trillion, kabillion, zillion damage with that Muerta, and good golly, Miss Molly does Muerta click hard already without the shard. She gets the shard, she gets the ag, she gets 6 slaughtered, and she will destroy anyone. Super spooky hero, Muerta. Super spooky.
Yeah, it's really the lifesteal. Like it's so nice that they have made it so that it's a retroactive. You know, you get the charges retroactively, but it's the 30% spell lifesteal. It's a satanic essentially, and yeah, just a very good shard.
Darknight has a double damage, actually blinks onto the Maiden instead of the Leshrac, thinks his team can run down the Leshrac, and you know what, I think they can, especially with the Hex coming out from Rusty, that damage amp, holy, down goes the Leshrac, and that's a nice couple of picks coming out for MMR, is just a number.
Yeah,
Oh, hang on, I look away, Darknight, going deep.
Feeling confident, I mean, he's got BKB available, so why not?
Now, in that other fight, did they burn the Aegis, or did it time out?
No, it timed out.
Okay.
And they're setting up for Arax.
Ooh, using Lon to fear Gachi away. Beautiful play, and it looks like Mon might be in a whole bunch of trouble on the sideline. Zenith just gets picked by Darknight. Down goes Lon, and it looks like this Muerta is thinking about playing forward onto Killer Ari. Killer Ari dropping the ult to push back Zarknight. Zarknight gonna get clicked here by Gachi. Might be in a little bit of trouble, no. Crimson comes out, and that might be enough to keep him. He has to pop his BKB, does keep him alive, and he can stroll on out of there.
And I don't think the CMNSF can defend by themselves. So this is probably gonna be another
especially
Rax.
when there is a Hex onto that Shadow Fiend. He's been grabbed by Rusty in the backline, and Rusty actually has a BKB, so that is going to be a dead Gachi. Rusty quickly rising up my best supports list. Man looks good, Ilstaya. Looks really good in every game we've seen him play. Holy.
Yeah, I didn't even realize he actually has a BKB as well, so he is probably guaranteed to get a full Shackle of. Might still die if the SF's nearby, but sometimes again, that's your job.
Okay, you shall meow.
Free lane.
Clicking racks.
And something that we haven't even needed to touch on this game is even if Lesh got Ags, it wouldn't matter to the Muerta. Sometimes that's Lesh's way of dealing with, you know, a right-clicking carry.
They do leave this Moonwell, Ilstaya. They didn't finish off this Moonwell. Could cost them the game.
There is non-0% chance that is true.
Okay. Pain being put onto this Rax. Lon trying to play forward. Lotus, enough to get Connor down to about 2/3 HP, but he's going to turn with his axe and his blood mail and put the pain onto Lon. Lon getting very, very low, and with the vessel, he's not healing. Down he goes. No Timbersaw left to keep this Rax alive, and do you know what, Ilstaya? Much as I love to play a game all the way out to the end, it's a 41k lead for MMR's on numbers. Zarknight is actually running straight at that Crystal Maiden already dead. Looks like Anne playing forward on the Leshrac, putting a whole bunch of damage out, but there's invisibility onto Cena, so they can't actually capitalize. Rusty pressing his BKB and running at the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend getting low, down he goes. Connor diving the fountain, meanwhile in the back lines, it looks like that's going to be a dead Leshrac, that's going to be a GG, and that's going to be the first game going the way of MMR. It's not a number.
Is just a number, SMH.
Okay, whatever, Ilstaya.
A nice game for Dire there. I mean, they are playing with two stand-ins.